This tutorial is about CSS borders. So over here I have created one HTML file and one CSS file, and I have linked the CSS file in the HTML file in the head section. So this is the text that will appear on the browser, which is in the HTML file, and all the styling is done in the CSS file. So here I have written all the border properties that we will study today. So let's go through all the border properties one by one. First one is the border style property. So over here I have styled different paragraphs from the HTML file. So for each paragraph I have created one class, and the value of this class is the name of the border style. So it will be easy for you to understand. For example, for the first class, I have given the value for class as dotted, which is a border style. And in the CSS file, I have written the class name, and then I have written the property inside the curly braces. So this is how it looks on the browser. So the first border displays dotted border, the second border displays dashed border, then the third one displays solid border, then double border, group border, rich border, inside border, outside border, no border, hidden border, and a mixed border. So this is how they look, and the syntax is very simple. You just have to write border style and write the value of the style. Then the next property is border width property. So for solid border type, I have also written another property, which is the border width property, and I have given 10 pixels as its value. So for now, let's change the border color to black. So this border, that is the solid border, displays border width property, and the width of this border is 10 pixels. If I change it to say 1 pixel, this is how it will look. So as you can see, the border got thinner. Then the next property is border color property, which is again very simple. You just have to write border color and give the value of the color. So for this solid border, I want to give it color, say color yellow. Now also we will change the width of the border because it is too thin. That is how you can give different colors to the border using border color property. So now in all these examples, we saw that we are writing only one value for the border properties. And this value is applied to all the 4 sides of the border. But you can give different values for each side of the border using border sides. So basically over here I have written all the 4 types that you need to know over here. So if there are 4 values for the borders, so for this we will use a border style property, but you can use the border sides in all the border properties, like for border color, for border width. So for now we are using border style property. So over here I am giving 4 different values to border style property. The first value is dotted, then the second value is solid, third one is double, and the fourth one is dashed. And this is how it looks on the browser. This border displays 4 different border styles. Now the first value is for the top border, the second value is for the right border, third value is for the bottom border, and the fourth value is for the left border. Similarly, if the border style property has 3 values, then the first value is for the top border, second value is for the left and right border, and the last value is for the bottom border. If it is having 2 values, then the first value is for top and bottom borders, and the second value is for right and left borders. And if it is having only 1 value, then it is for all 4 sides of the border. So as you can see, for 4 different border styles, the top border is a dotted border, then the right one is solid border, the bottom one is double border, and the left one is again dashed border. So that is about the border size property. Then the next one is the shorthand property. So as we just saw, there are many properties to consider when dealing with borders. To shorten the code, it is also possible to specify all the individual border properties in one single property. So the border property is a shorthand property for the following border properties, that is border width, border style, and border color. So over here I have written the border property, that is the shorthand property, and then I have written 3 border properties, that is the values of 3 border properties, which are the border width property, border style property, and border color property. So the name of the property is border, and then you have to write the values for the 3 different border properties. And this is how it looks on the browser. The one with the blue colored border. So that displays shorthand property. So we have reduced the number of lines of code. So instead of writing 3 lines of code, we are writing it in one single line. So that is the use of shorthand property. And the last one is the border radius property. The border radius property is used to add rounded borders to an element. So over here I have written border radius property. And I have given 5 pixel as its value, and this is how it looks on the browser. As you can see, the corners of this border are rounded, unlike the other borders. And this is the syntax. You simply have to write border radius and then the value. So that is all you need to know about the border properties. Thank you.